for a web page to be correctly done, we need to add the proper structure and overhead. So the basic structure of an HTML page is that it has opening and closing HTML tags. So that's the tag. It's truly HTML. There's the opening tag and there's the closing tag. Now all of the HTML goes inside here. Inside HTML there are two specific sections. There's the head section, and that's an opening head tag and the closing head tag, followed by a body section. So if we have an opening and closing, so there's two sections. So here, all of it is HTML, and then one section is the head section, and the other section is the body section. So here's the head. We'll put information inside the head, goes information about the page, and then inside the body is where all the content goes. So if we, and I don't usually use spaces, but I do indentation to be able to see these. So let me show you how that works. The HTML surrounds everything, so it's in the outer level, and then I indent these two sections, the head and the body section, those two. So if I wanted to put my content in, here's my scientific method page. Notice that this is all my paragraphs and headings and all those things that we did, and the hard rule. This is all the content, and this is what I want to show up on the web page. So all of this, I'm going to copy all of this goes inside these body tags. So it's going to go right inside here. And I use indentation to show the level here. So I'm going to take this whole section, I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to tab it in twice. So now I can see that there it is inside that body tag. All of it. So no matter how big your content is, the whole section of content goes inside the body tag. Now inside the head goes things that are about the web page. So we'll have meta tags in here. Another thing that goes in here is the title tag. So the title tag, this is a fun tag. The title tag, if I put something in here like a scientific method, notice I've got that down here as a heading, but this is a title and it doesn't show up in the web page because I've got it in the head section, right? What shows up in the web page is what's in the body section. So I'm going to save this and go over here and refresh it. And see what shows up here. We did not, in the content, it just has that heading 1, the scientific method, but we don't see this other scientific method inside the page. But look up here in the tab. There it is, right there in the tab. Can you see it? I can't highlight it, but the title goes up there. So whatever I put down here, inside my title tag, I save that, I go refresh it. It shows up there in the tab, right? So that's a fun tag that goes in there in the head, and we'll learn other ones that go. So that's the basic structure. HTML tags surround everything. There's two sections, the head section where things about the web page go, and the body section where all the content goes. Now the other thing we need to do to get this right is to add overhead. And here I have a file overhead xhtml.html. This is the correct overhead if you're using XHTML 1.0 strict. So there turns out there's lots of different versions of HTML, and they're kind of different, like a dialect, not like an entire different language. So they're really, really similar between them all, but they each have their own little details. So notice here you see the structure. There's the opening HTML tag. Look how big that is, because notice that it has two attributes. It has the XMLNS attribute with a value, and the LANG attribute, stands for language, with a value. So this is our opening HTML tag. Here's the closing one. Notice that there's nothing added to the closing one. Attributes always go in the opening one. Here's the head section, and it has both the title tag, which is required for this version of HTML, and a meta tag. And notice that a meta tag is a self-replace tag. It ends itself. There's no content between it, and it has two attributes. in this particular version. And then here's the body. And since this is just overhead, there's nothing in the content of the web page, so the body is empty. So now if I want to add this, notice what I have to add to my page. I already have the HTML, but I have the wrong opening. I don't have the one with the attributes. So I'm going to take this HTML tag and I'm going to copy it over, and I'm going to replace this simple HTML tag with the one that has the attributes in it. And I already have the title in the head section, but I also need to have this meta tag. So I'm going to take this whole meta tag and I'm going to put it in the head as well. Now it doesn't matter which order, it can go before or after the title. So I'm going to put the meta tag there. Now I have everything except the doc type. And so look here, the doc type is actually comes before the opening HTML tag. It's not officially HTML. It's a piece of information for the browser to say, okay, browser, this is the language we're going to be using. So you can interpret the rest of this code based on knowing this language. So this always goes at the top before the opening HTML tag. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put it up here before that opening HTML tag. And there I have that doc type. So the doc type and the meta tag and the attributes in the opening HTML tag will be different depending on the language you're speaking. So this one is specifically for HTML 1.0 strict, which is what we'll be using to start with. So save it now, and notice that it didn't make any difference to how the web page looks. All right, so there's the web page. It still has all of the content that we were expecting, the headings and the hard rule. It actually gave me that blank line before where it didn't have that before. But now we have this, now we put all of the overhead.